Whoa, whoa, whoa. We are hopping right into the qualifier here, folks. My bad. Did think we had a moment there, but we are headed straight into it. Okay, now I gotta be. Oh, actually, you know what? We'll have a break after the qualifiers. For now, I'll go ahead and cover these qualifiers. This is a round four BIS. I don't. That's what Bimmy told me. I don't know. Maybe I'm showing my ignorance with Formula Racing here. I'm not sure what a BIS is, but I do know. We had a number of people who couldn't make it to round five, so we are basically doing another round four. It will still be, I believe, your slowest or your worst placing two races will be dropped still. This will just be an extra round on top of that so that you don't miss any Sprint Ace Cup action, even though round 5 is being delayed. So, we've got Rob, we've got Vesoski, Elkhart, Etnico, Lori DC, and The Beat. They're finishing up the qualifiers right now. We've got Vesoski with a massive best lap lead right now by over a second over all the rest of the competition, and there is only one, not over a second, over 100 milliseconds. We will see if anyone can beat that. Rob couldn't, and so it's unlikely that anyone else will be able to. We'll see. Vesoski is quite good with those best laps, and he will be doing that once again here. We are going to have Vesoski winning the best lap by 210 milliseconds. Not bad at all there. And so it looks like the lineup is going to be Vesoski, Robden, The B, Lori DC, Elkhart, and Etnico. Now I will go ahead and pop back over, show y'all the standings headed into today's race. You can see Rob is currently leading by a pretty large margin over the rest of the competition. Vesoski, of course, has missed a week. He had one miss. So that score is a little bit deflated compared to what you might expect, but that explains it. That 0 will be dropped off from his final points total once we get to the end of the cup. So you can see Vesoski and Rob pretty damn close. Bimmy in the mix as well. Bimmy going to be fighting for the overall podium with Power 8. And we got Lori DC floating around near the middle. Rest of the racers 40 points or less. Although we do have Etnico with 2 misses. So if he doesn't miss any more races for the rest of the Sprint Ace Cup, then he could also get that score pumped up quite a bit by the end as well. Okay, welcome in Steez, welcome in Racers, welcome in Revo Enjoyers. We are here again with the Sprint Ace Cup, round 4 BIS. We'll be following up the action shortly, just getting the qualifying laps calculated, and then we'll be back into it. Hang tight. And we are back, y'all, with the Sprint Ace Cup. Qualifiers are over. Racers are doing their formation laps. And then we will be doing back-to-back 23 laps of Elkhart. This race went by pretty quickly last time. I will say this is a pretty tame track compared to some of the other ones that we've seen, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means you need to pay more attention to the details. It's definitely easy for me to miss it too, since I'm always looking for that action. We do have the racers lining up. I'll wait to be given the ready, and then I'll count our racers off. The B. The B. And away they go. Already it is Rob versus Vasovsky. We got the B in the mix, as well as a Lori DC. Trying to get the inside on Rob. Lori not going to be able to find it. Here's the most important part of the track right here, though. And B spins out on it. Lori DC still staying quite competitive with Vasovsky. Etnico a little bit back, but it's understandable since he started a little bit back to begin with. But as we look at Rob, Lori, and Vasovsky, Vasovsky already getting quite close to Lori DC's bumper there. And the turn and the follow-up. Wow. It was looking like Vasovsky did not have the best entry, but he sure as hell made it a good exit. All the drivers still neck and neck for the top three. We got Etnico 20 meters back. The B behind him. LR Tizer behind him. LR Tizer is one of... hold on. Ooh. You gotta be careful of Vasovsky. You always gotta be careful. And if you're too careful, he'll get by you. Lori DC right now is doing a good job of defensive driving against Vasovsky, not letting him get around. Vasovsky caught up on the bumper. But Lori, you gotta be careful. Tries to overcompensate to block Vasovsky. And it was a fight that seemed like it might be overthrown shortly, and it was a little bit sooner than I expected, at least for me personally, but Vasovsky has done it. He did find the pass. Excellent attempt by Lori. Also, Lori did not wreck. Lori is still good. 10 meters back. We've got the B, Etnico. The B passing up Etnico. We'll have to tune back into that in just a bit, but for now we got an important turn, series of turns, rather, from Rob and Vasovsky. On the inside, not quite. 2 meters between the two. And we'll take it back. The B versus Etnico. All right, important turn, important turn. Look at Vasovsky. Look at him. Now he does go on the outside there, which lets Rob get a little bit of breathing room, but that turn prior, that was a little bit scary. Etnico still can't quite catch the B, 10 meters back. We've also got LR Tizer here in the caboose. LR Tizer has been making a name for himself, at least from my perspective. through the Sprint Ace Cup. He's been doing quite well for himself. This race, of course, not as much, but we'll see if he can bounce back. The double turn. Hold on. Ooh, look at it. Forcing Rob into that defensive driving. We saw how it paid off for Lori DC. Not too well at all. Rob's got to be careful. Lori DC has the best lap right now, though. Shout out to Lori for that one. The pit. Very possible. Of course, on this game, the pit can be quite a toss-up. Drop down turn. Ooh. And that's actually quite a sizable mistake from Rob. I mean, 35 meters back plus behind Vesosky. He's got about 13 laps left to come back with. It's doable. But Lori DC has wedged himself into second as well, which will make this comeback even more difficult for Rob. I will say the B still holding strong over Etnico. There's a spin out. It's claimed 2 of our drivers' lives so far. Rob has found a new life of sorts, but I know he wants that first place. I know he wants it. You can see Vesosky has definitely shown up to Elkhart today. The B was doing so well for himself. 10 meters behind Lori, and now he's going to do a crazy maneuver here. Going to try to block off Etnico for a while, but Etnico will break away, and the B will be in between here. He's got Elkhart a little bit uncomfortably close to him, but he could potentially hit Etnico as well. As we flip back towards the front of our drivers, Vesosky with that 35-meter lead, going to be feeling very comfortable. And remember, he does have a 0 in his race history. So having this extra round is actually very beneficial to Vesosky. I don't know how much consideration has been made about that. But giving him an additional race, does that make sense? Maybe my reasoning doesn't make sense. And now that I'm starting to think about it, I need to roll that back before I start walking down a line that doesn't make sense. Let's stay focused on the game. We can talk more about the scoring in between because we got a race A and a race B. Simple enough. Vesosky doing quite well for himself. Rob in the mix, second place, out on an island. Lori DC very far away from 4th place, but also even further from 2nd. And our race has died down a bit, except for the back. The B, Elkhart, Etnico in the mix right here, 4th, 5th, 6th. Now this is the actual mix compared to the front field. This could get mixed up any which way. They've got 10 laps left, finishing up lap 13 right now. Welcome in, Paige. Good to have you in here. Yes, shout out to Ducksec Bents. Created the live standings in Python, I believe. The Tech Master. Etnico not having a voice in this race yet. Was competitive with the B there for a bit. But can I just give a shout out to the B for the moment? The B was struggling earlier on in Sprint Ace Cup, not gonna lie. But this is a great bounce. And Etnico is gonna find the overtake on Elkhart as well. And Etnico is gonna bounce into 4th. So pretty much everything that I said for the whole past lap has completely reversed itself. Very cool. It's still very much a race for this 4th place, but it's been flipped up on its head. The only thing that hasn't changed is Elkhart has been sitting in 5th. Etnico, too far. the B and LR. Gonna say thank you very much. The B trying to get around, but LR's got the inside. The B still overtakes him. Right back into 4th place. LR Tizer still in 5th, and Edico now in 6th. The tables have been completely reverted back to what they were. And indeed. Okay, let's flip forward a bit here for the moment, because the race is coming to a close here soon. We see Rob has done a great job at closing the gap. Still 35 meters, yes. But Vasowski has not been able to run away with it. He does still need to avoid any kind of mistakes because, one minor wreck and there's 35 meters just like that. In the meantime, the B holding on to 4th place with a Cobra clutch. No, I'm just playing. We're not going to curse him again. I want to see what the B's got here. Can the B lock down a 4th place? A 4th place finish for him would be the best finish he's had in the Sprint Ace Cup. So this... You gotta stop doing that to me. You gotta stop doing that to me, the B. LR Tizer finally going to emerge from 5th place, moving somewhere in the race. Everyone around him has been switching places, but not LR Tizer. He will now, though. He's going to be defending 4th place against the B, who has once again recovered and is continuing to hunt him down. We'll see this turn. Ooh, LR Tizer in the sand. On the real turn, the B on the inside. LR Tizer over under. Wait, can he defend? The B still pushing for that inside, and he stays inside. Into the turn. Wait, into the sand. Not quite. LR Tizer. He holds on. He holds on to 4th place. And of course, I know y'all want to see how the 1st place finish will happen, but for the time being, this battle between LR Tizer and the B is too sick to pass up. Big turn. Not quite. It's still going to be LR Tizer blocking out the B. Hold on. Where are we going? Where are we going, Tizer? Wait, where are we going? This is not a beach trip. Quit playing in the sand. The B almost finding the inside. He might attempt it again right here. LR Tizer blocking heavy on it. The B almost pays the price. That can be quite finicky there. In general, approaching like that. LR Tizer, a moment of instability. Look at, a bounce off. The B will be able to stabilize. We actually see Rob getting a little bit closer to Vasowski. Lori has wrecked. Now LR Tizer trying to get around Lori. He can't do it. Lori holds on. I don't think this is quite close enough of a gap for Vasowski unless he were to wreck. They're on, well, hold on. They're not on the final lap yet. Vasowski looking fine through that turn. Lori. Okay, everybody in the sand. The B going for some stunt tricks, but he survives. LR Tizer attacking. He can't find it though. Lori DC's defense is too strong. And we flip to Vasowski in 1st place, lap 24 of 24, 22 meters ahead of Rob. He needs to nail this turn, and he is not being pressured enough to come close, anywhere close to making a mistake there. We flip over to Lori versus LR Tizer versus the B. 3rd, 4th, 5th. The B could find a podium here. This would be a big moment for him. He passes up LR Tizer. Not going to be able to find Lori DC, but he is able to block LR Tizer on the inside, which will be a 4th place finish for the B. He's got to be happy with that. Lori DC locks in a podium as well. Whoa! The B shooting for the stars. Flying too close to the sun. He's not even going to finish the race. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Okay, he is going to go ahead and finish that up. Oh, man, the B. Gonna go just flying too close to the sun. That's the only way to put it. And that will be our podium. Fasowski, Rob, Lori. And then we've got Elkhart moving on up to 4th place. The B getting demoted to 5th. Still finishing out ahead of Etnico, though. Etnico, a strong racer. So props to the B for being able to beat Etnico in that one. Now we'll be doing the reverse grid order for race 2. There are 2 races at every round of the Sprint Ace Cup. And so that was round 1. Now we are headed into round 2. Etnico will be starting off in the pole position. The B in 2nd place. Because it goes, if you place last, you are now starting off in 1st. And so it will be the B in 2nd. Elkhart 3rd. Lori DC 4th. Rob 5th. Vasowski 6th. And that is how it will go. Now, as for what I was saying earlier about having an extra round matter into the point deduction, I was wrong about that. So I just want to clarify that before we move on over. I was thinking it could influence that goose egg that Vasowski had, but simply put, I was off base. And I started realizing that the more I was talking about it. And so I just wanted to clarify that, but we will move on to race 2 here in just a second. See if Vasowski can lock down a double win. Rob was seeming very, very competitive despite finishing in 2nd place. You can see he was only about a 1.5 seconds behind Vasowski once everything was said and done. And so very respectable finish by Rob. One mistake from Vasowski and he could have been challenged for sure. As for the back of the, or not the back of the pack, but really anything but 1st and 2nd, that was a grab bag. I mean, Lori DC at one point wrecking out, losing a ton of distance, almost getting passed up. But some nice defensive driving from Lori DC, as has been the case all Sprint Ace Cup. I'm not sure what we're waiting for. Maybe just waiting for bathroom break, drinks, whatever. And then we will head on into the next one. I'm going to go ahead and show you all a little bit of the standings. It's a little bit scuffed looking, but I'm doing my best. You know what I mean? That's kind of the most important part, is that I'm doing my best. So this is the first 3 races. Autumn Ring Mini, Tingen Incorporated, and Green Haze Valley. You can see Rob has been doing quite well for himself on these races, but Vasowski, of course, edging in there when he can. Bimmy almost getting 1st place overall in Tingen Incorporated GP. That was a nasty one, heartbreaker for sure from Bimmy, but still a very respectable finish. But we are headed back into our race. Let's get it on. This, of course, is not the official first lap. This is the formation lap where the drivers get into their positions before starting the actual first lap. Powerade in the mix. Powerade has made it. Shout out to Powerade. The Powerade has been around, I think, 4th, 5th place lately in Sprint Ace Cup. We'll see if he can't squeeze his way into a podium finish or even win this round 4 bis. It's certainly possible, but he will be starting all the way in the back due to him coming in late. Lori DC with the false start. Y'all saw that, right? Busy honking. And he false starts. It's okay. We won't hold it against him. It is going to be the B starting off in first place with a pretty massive lead, but look at the aggressive driving from Vasoski, especially. Unfortunate for Lori. Vasoski has already moved into second place, even despite having to start all the way in the back, only ahead of Powerade. You can see in the live standings that Powerade has not been as successful at doing that. Rob out here in third place. We got Elkhart, Lori, Powerade, and Etnico struggling a bit, but let's put the spotlight on the B here for the time being. He has raced an entire lap in that first place. He will run into the sand and wreck and will no longer be there, but still, he got one lap in, which is pretty impressive all the same. Powerade wrecking out as well. They're in fourth place. The B does move to sixth place in the meantime, but he is going to be fighting with Etnico for that fifth place. Actually, he moves up to fifth. Nope. Look at that. The B on one. Okay. Look at him. Oh, where you going, Etnico? Get in the sand. We've also got Powerade versus Lori DC as well going on in the meantime. Surprising that Lori's still able to be in third place. Great recovery from Lori. Some early woes on really on lap one. But in the meantime, Vasoski versus Rob, the main event continues. Not too much happening there for the time being, but we've got some action on the back line. The B, Etnico, the B is getting taken out entirely, and he will fall back. Kind of a WWE move there, it felt like. I don't know what you'd call that if it was a WWE move, but I'm sure there's some creative names for that. Vasoski versus Rob for the top two. Rob is 10 meters back. You know, has not ran away from him too much, but Vasoski has been very much on top of things today. And look at the battle for fourth. Powerade, Etnico, the B on the inside. LR-Ties are going to hold on to it. Etnico, oh, double? Okay, they managed to recover. LR-Tizer squeezes into fifth. Powerade, chilling in fourth. I think we'll continue to watch this barroom brawl going on from about 4th to 7th for the time being. We've got a good number of laps left. About 16 laps left. The B wrecking out. Etnico wrecking out. The B overtakes him. Powerade still in the mix. We'll see what he can find. A little bit too far away, forward and behind, to be able to get too much action right now, unless someone were to wreck. And you know what? I think this is as good of a time as ever to put a little bit of the shine on first and second. Vasoski versus Rob. Today, it has been all coming up Vasoski. He has rarely, if ever, ceded that first place the entire day today. But he has not been looking quite bulletproof. Rob is the overall leader in the Sprint Ace Cup, and he has gotten a number of individual race wins. This is a surprising showing for him if he were to get second place twice, because he has truly been showing up. We'll see if he can find any action against Vasoski, or if Vasoski will be able to defend the whole way. Moving on. Lori, Powerade, LR-Tizer. Rob has set a new best lap for himself, but Besoski has the best lap overall. Only by a couple milliseconds, though. I will say that much. We'll go ahead and go back to first, second, and get a glimpse at that super complex part of Elkhart. Really, it makes up the brunt of the lap, and it kind of starts right here with that very first turn, setting you up for success for the following two, and then you got the reposition into these final two turns. Rob will bounce off the railing, and that will be a 5-meter advantage for Besoski, just like that. In the blink of an eye, he's gotten 5 meters. It's that simple. And the thing is, Besoski doesn't seem to be giving any of these meters back. If you lose the meters, they're gone. That's how it seems to be so far. We'll continue watching, see if Rob can try to break into this, or if Besoski is going to continue his bulletproof run. Lori, third place. We'll look at Lori for a bit. Anything higher than third place, looking like a pipe dream right now for Lori. But Lori is one of those wild card players. You never really know what you're going to get with Lori. Can come up huge. Can also fall on his face from time to time, but not, I mean, I wouldn't say it's common. But Lori does fit the description of that wild card driver. Again, emphasis on finding the ways to come up big when others wouldn't necessarily expect it. We've got Powerade trying to hunt down Lori. So far, it's been unsuccessful. Has just been chilling out in fourth place, trying to find his way into that podium. Elkhart, fifth, the B, sixth, and quite a ways back is Enico. So it looks like either with lap traffic or poor execution, Besoski has handed over some of that distance. Look at how close he is to Robden at this point. He's quite close. He's quite close. 5 meters. Big moment for Robden's race. Besoski is definitely going to be feeling the pressure here. This is what I talk about when I say applying pressure. When you have that pace, like you can see, Rob now has the best lap overall in the race. So it didn't just come out of the blue. Rob has been racing extremely well. And when somebody is right there behind you in your rearview mirror like that, it adds a little bit of pressure with each turn, especially the more complex sequences. And that can come back to bite you. We'll see if Besoski lets it get in his head, or if he can finish this race out, maybe even add a couple more meters between him and Rob by the time it's done. There's about 7 laps left. We'll find out then. Only going to be a few more minutes until the race is over. Besoski just needs to hold on. In the meantime, Powerade moving into third. I hate that we missed that. That's on me, but Powerade will be moving into that podium spot. Got to be careful that we don't miss anything happening in the front. But I will also say Elkhart is in the mix as well, doing what he can. Trying to move into fourth place. He is pretty close to Lori. The turn. If you tuned in to last week's race, round 4, it was on Elkhart as well, the race that you're watching right now, or the track that you're watching right now. And Besoski, basically all it took was wrecking out one time on one turn, and Rob was able to find the overtake. Welcome in, pokers. This was a bit impromptu. Round 5 is rescheduled to next week, but they decided to do a round 4 bis. Now that's the turn that I was talking about right there. Besoski took it too far on the inside one single time, and that was all it took. Rob, he had the best lap overall before this, but he just set a new best lap for himself. So this is really peak performance from Rob right here in this moment. And we're definitely going to try to check it. But in the meantime, Elkhart versus Lori continues on. They've got the lap traffic here. Etnico lets them by. Elkhart in the sand. Lori says hello. But that is going to be a very secure third place for Powerade regardless. And well done by Powerade to find that third place over Lori. Lori still fighting tooth and nail for fourth, but we will flip back forward. It does look like Rob has ceded a couple of meters to Vasowski, which is a very deadly way to go. I mean, look at the way Vasowski takes those turns. So tight. And we are on lap 22 of 24. It's a major break time here for Rob and Vasowski. And I've got to say, to me, maybe not to y'all, but to me, it's looking like Rob is going to need Vasowski to make a wreck. That looks like pretty much the only way that Rob is going to be able to find the overtake. He's had insane tempo, yes. He keeps setting new best laps for himself, yes. He maintains the best lap overall, yes. But it just doesn't seem to be enough to keep Vasowski under control. With Vasowski 100 meters away, 10 meters away, I just don't think that this is quite feasible from Rob based on pace alone. Vasowski, now I wouldn't say that was like his cleanest take of that, but he's going to lose like 1 meter, and he needs to lose a whole lot more than that for Rob to be able to catch him. So this is looking like the lock-in for Vasowski. We've got Elkhart trying to catch the B. The B overtaking Elkhart. Again, I hate that I missed that one. Hold on. The turn. And Vasowski locks it down. He does indeed. We're going to tune into the B versus Elkhart. They're just now starting their final lap. The B passing up Elkhart. He had the tables turned on him last race in a very unfortunate way, and Elkhart beat him. He wants revenge. Can he find it? That's the question. It looks like he's done it. Hold on. Okay, he did it. He did it. Wait, the B. Hold on. Where are we? It's such a troll. I love it. The B locking it in. I believe that was that fifth? Fifth place for the B. Well done. But we do have Vasowski taking both wins of the day here at Elkhart. Round 4 BIS. Next race will be a new track. Don't get too excited. A new track compared to what we've seen so far. It will be Emerald Pastures Raceway, followed up by Wildwood Grove and Dankernkart. GG's all around. That will be our conclusion for now. Bimmy is not here, so I don't think we're going to wait on the results. This is just kind of an added extra round. This will basically just be a free round for the drivers. They will not be punished at all for not coming, etc. It's just an extra added on round. Still doing the lowest 2 races will be eliminated, etc., etc. So that's going to be it from me. It's been a pleasure. And we will be back this weekend with more Team Race League. Don't forget, every Saturday, 22:15 UTC, as well as other random times, which will be announced most likely in the Discord beforehand. We've got the Team Race League. So make sure you are looking out for that. We've got more of that to come, and we've also got more sprint race to come. Like I said, we got 3 races left, until we crown a victor of the Sprint Ace Cup. Massive shout out to Bimmy as well as Alias Revolt Master, the Italian Revolt community, for hosting this tournament and inviting me to cast. I'm excited to see who takes it. Also, huge shout out, of course, to Pokers, my partner in crime, co-cameraman, picture-in-picture, commentator, so on and so forth, video maker, race preview, track preview creator. Thank you very much. We'll be collaborating this weekend on some races. We'll see y'all then. Later.